Okay, I don't want us to have. I'm going to do well eventually.
The truck was actually coming from Ring Road. It missed a step. So as it was trying to gather itself, it fell.
What we are witnessing.
A very good evening and many thanks for joining us on BeeTv Major News at 6, reaching you live from Benin City, the Edo State capital. My name is Harmony Agbafor, and now for the news in details. Edo State's Governor, Senator Monday Okpebolo, has been conferred with a Lifetime Achievement Award by the Nigerian Union of Teachers, Edo State Wing, in recognition of his exceptional reforms and commitment to repositioning the state's education sector. The award was presented to the governor at the Government House, Benin City, during a courtesy visit by the leadership of the NUT, led by its state chairman, Comrade Bernard Ajobiewe, in company of the acting chairman of the Nigeria Labour Congress, Edo State Chapter, Comrade Bernard Joma Egwahide. BeeTv News' Temitope Oluwafemi has details.
There's deep appreciation to Edo teachers for their diligence and patriotism in shaping the future of the state. He reaffirmed his administration's commitment to education as the cornerstone of human development and announced plans to recruit an additional 3,000 teachers to strengthen teaching capacity and improve learning outcomes across public schools. He said, teachers remain a top priority in development agenda improved, so must manpower, and the goal is to ensure that no school lacks qualified teachers and that every child and monitoring activities across Edo 18 local government areas.
People are beginning to come back to government school. Unlike before, you get to a school, you don't see people. Unlike before, you get to a school, you just find 3 teachers in a whole community school. Then, primary 1 and 2 in one class. 2 and 3 and 4 combined in one classroom. 5 and 6 combined in one classroom. How do they learn? So that is exactly what is happening now. People are beginning to ask questions. So with the new hope of Mr. President, I can assure you that we will reposition the educational system because
their story as teachers has changed from frustration to fulfillment, adding that Governor Okpebolo has not only restored dignity to the teaching profession, but has rekindled hope in public education. His actions demonstrate true leadership and empathy. Similarly, acting NLC chairman, Comrade Bernard Joma Egwahide, praised the governor's people-oriented leadership and promised the union's continued support for his administration.
A sincere appreciation in the sense what we experienced under you, under a year, is unprecedented to Edo teachers, particularly in the education sector. And we deem it fit today that we must be here. All of us will kneel down. Thank you. Can you stand up? Kneel down. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. First time in the history of Edo State, Comrade Adams.
We have a governor in Edo State that don't talk but believe in practical. Your work is visible to the blind and audible to the deaf. God bless you, and we pray that God will keep keeping you and preserving you for all of us.
They said the workers of Edo State will stand by him as he continued to transform the educational sector and fulfill his promises. Temitope Oluwafemi, reporting for BeeTv News.
Edo State's Governor, Senator Monday Okpebolo, has issued a strong warning to the management of the Museum of West African Art, MOA, cautioning against further encroachment on the land belonging to Edo State Specialist Hospital, vowing that his administration will not tolerate the encroaching of public property. Governor Okpebolo gave the directive during an inspection tour of the MOA project at King Square, Benin City, where he was conducted around the site by Museum's Executive Director, Mr. Philip Iheanacho. BeeTv News' Arugi Agwebo has details.
The visit by Governor Okpebholo to the Museum of West Africa Art, MOWA, was aimed at obtaining first-hand information on the land occupied by MOWA and that of the Edo Specialist Hospital, as well as ensuring proper demarcation between both properties. Speaking after the inspection, Governor Okpebholo expressed dissatisfaction over the degree of encroachment by MOWA, describing it as unacceptable and potentially detrimental to the hospital's future expansion. According to the governor, the Edo State Specialist Hospital has existed for over 90 years, while MOWA is a relatively recent. Governor Okpebholo emphasized that the Specialist Hospital remains a critical public institution serving Edo people and must be protected from any form of land infringement.
Reason why we are here is because of the MOWA and the hospital. The hospital has been here for over 90 years. And MOWA just came in yesterday. It's just like sending a landlord out of the house, a tenant is occupying it. Now, we have come here to tell them, look, take this portion of land. But the hospital land, don't touch it.
The governor therefore directed that a clear demarcation be established between both properties to prevent future disputes. Governor Okpebholo reiterated that while his administration values cultural preservation and creative investment, such projects must not undermine the welfare of citizens or compromise vital public services. He noted that the MOWA project, which was initiated under the previous administration of former Governor Godwin Obaseki, was inherited by the current government. However, tensions over land use have prompted a reassessment of boundaries between the museum and the hospital.
Where they are is also hospital land. The mortuary was removed, emergency ward was removed, and there is no replacement for it. So we are not too happy. Edo people are not too happy with this. So I cannot be the one to prevent Edo people from enjoying what rightfully belongs to them. So that is the essence of us coming here, so that there will be a demarcation. We have showed them where they should work with.
In this respect
of occupancy that was issued to us by the previous administration, what's clear to us is that there's a portion which the Edo State Specialist Hospital will require for their expansion, and we're in discussions with Edo State to make sure that we have a situation where we know exactly what the new boundaries are, so that there'll be no encroachment.
Governor Okpebholo reaffirmed that his government remains committed to promoting development across all sectors, but not at the expense of public institutions or citizens' welfare. He added that while his government will continue to encourage investment and cultural advancement, the property and institutions of Edo people must be protected, and governors must always balance progress with fairness. Osarogie Agwebo, reporting for BeeTv News.
The Edo State House of Assembly has passed a bill to repeal the Customary Court of Appeal, Repeal Law 2015, and enact a law to re-establish the Customary Court of Appeal in Edo State. BeeTv News State House correspondent Osarogie Agwebo reports that the passage of the bill aimed to enhance justice delivery and sustain the judiciary at the customary level. The report.
At Wednesday plenary session, a bill for a law to repeal the Customary Court of Appeal, Repeal Law 2015, and enact a law to re-establish the Customary Court of Appeal in Edo State and for other matters connected therewith slid through its third reading after the consideration of a bill at the Committee on the Whole.
A bill for a law to repeal the Customary Court of Appeal Law 25 and enact a law to re-establish the Customary Court of Appeal.
Mrs. Maria Edeko.
The committee will start separately and we are ready with our report.
Meanwhile, the committee report was adopted by the lawmakers, but the consideration of the report was deferred to a later date. From the Edo State House of Assembly, Osarogie Agwebo, reporting for BeeTv News.
The Edo State Independent Electoral Commission has paid a courtesy visit to the Oredo Local Government Council chairman to solicit support for a conducive and well-furnished working environment for its staff ahead of preparations for the forthcoming local government elections. The commission's representatives stated this during a courtesy visit to the chairman of Oredo. BeeTv News' Temitope Oluwafemi has details.
It was a day of partnership and purpose as the Edo State Independent Electoral Commission, EDSEC, paid a courtesy visit to the Oredo Local Government Council chairman. The visit was aimed at seeking collaboration and support towards creating a conducive working environment for half of the EDSEC chairman. Honorable Jonathan Aifuwa was represented by Dr. Ikuria, who delivered the chairman's commission message of cooperation and readiness for the 2026 local government polls. Dr. Ikuria further appealed for stronger synergy between the commission and the Oredo Council, saying such collaboration would strengthen grassroots democracy and enhance credible elections. Honorable Engineer Gabriel Dusere expressed appreciation to the EDSEC delegation for the visit. He commended the Commission's efforts in strengthening democratic governance at the grassroots level and reaffirmed the Council's commitment to supporting transparent and credible electoral processes in Edo State. Honorable Dusere assured the Commission of the Council's readiness to provide a conducive and well-furnished office for EDSEC staff to enable them discharge their constitutional responsibilities effectively. He emphasized the Oredo local government remains steadfast in its cooperation with all institutions that promote good governance and service delivery.
I personally want to also welcome you, the members of Edo State Independent Electoral Commission, on behalf of the government of the good people of Oredo local government. I warmly welcome you to our council headquarters. As you all know, your visit today
featuring members of the EDSEC delegation, the Oredo Council chairman, and his executive team. Temitope Oluwafemi reporting for BeeTv News.
Security concerns is rising over alleged use of dispatch services to transport hard drugs and other illegal substances across the state and country. BeeTv News Favor Kolawole reports that residents expresses worry that many unscrupulous individuals now take advantage of dispatch riders to remove illicit items under the cover of regular parcel delivery. The report.
Dispatch riders play a vital role in modern logistics and business operations by ensuring the fast and reliable movement of goods, documents, and parcels from one location to another. But while dispatch services have made logistics and delivery easier, the system can also be exploited by criminal elements. Residents say there is need for security officials, particularly those at checkpoints and inspection points, to thoroughly search dispatch riders and verify the contents of their package before allowing them to proceed. This, they say, can help in the increasing rate of drug trafficking that pose a serious threat to public health and national security.
It's actually very necessary for the security agencies to check these dispatch riders because you may not know the content of what they are carrying, all right, judging by the present insecurity in the state. So I think it will be a safe thing to do.
If they continue to check, there's nothing bad on it.
They urge authorities to
strategy for combating misinformation. This call came during the 2025 edition of Africast themed Building a Resilient African Media Ecosystem for the Future, where the key industry players gathered to discuss the way forward. The report.
The current state of the broadcast industry, particularly in the digital age, was a key topic at Africa's 2025 summit. Panel critical role as a frontline defender against false information, especially amid the rise of artificial intelligence.
The way we handle misinformation matters a great deal, especially as we move into an election period in Nigeria in the coming months. And we do not know there is a pandemic amongst us, and it is a pandemic of deepfakes. I'd like to urge every one of us and to ask every one of us to equip ourselves.
The trust index has to be something you do in partnership with the listeners who you think that you're trying to ensure that the content that broadcast.
Government has reaffirmed its commitment to fostering inclusive prosperity through comprehensive enterprise reforms across Nigeria. Vice President Kashim Shettima made this known during his visit to Katsina State for the 9th expanded National MSMEs Clinic. The report.
The atmosphere at the Continental Event and Sports Complex in Kasana was filled with excitement and optimism as thousands of entrepreneurs converged for the 9th Expanded National MSMEs Clinic. The Expanded National MSMEs Clinic is an initiative designed in recognition of the federal government's prioritization of the micro, small and medium enterprises MSME sector as vital to Nigeria's economic growth and diversification. The platform serves to identify enterprise-related challenges and profile solutions through a multidisciplinary team of experts from various statutory agencies responsible for MSME development. While declaring the clinic open, Vice President Kashim Shettima announced that President Bola Tinubu has approved an unconditional grant of 250,000 naira for each outstanding MSME exhibitor participating in the clinic. The Vice President commended Castina's
Supreme Court has reserved judgment in the suit challenging President Bola Tinubu's declaration of a state of emergency in Rivers State. A 7-member panel of justices led by Justice Nyango Okoro took up the case after all parties formally adopted their written addresses. The report. The Supreme Court has reserved judgment in a suit filed by the Attorneys General of the 10 states challenging the scope of the federal government powers under a state of emergency. The dates for the judgment will be communicated to all parties. At the state of proceedings, Delta State, the 5th plaintiff, formally withdrew from the case. The withdrawal was not opposed by the Attorney General of the Federation, Lateef Fagbemi, SAN, who is representing the federal government. Counsel for the remaining plaintiffs, Eyitayo Jegede, SAN, clarified that the suit does not contest the president's authority to declare a state of emergency. Instead, it challenges the extent to which such a declaration can impact the offices of state governors, deputy governors, and state legislatures. In his response, AGF Fagbemi argued that the proclamation of the state of emergency. The Senate has also passed the Nigerian Mines Ranger Service Bill aimed at combating illegal mining and enhancing security within the country's mining sector. The report.
It was a busy day at the National Assembly, with senators deliberating on and passing several key bills focused on economic reform, improving institutional efficiency, and enhancing security in the extractive sector. Among them was the Nigerian Mines Ranger Service Bill, which aims to create a specialized security agency to tackle illegal mining, a problem estimated to cost Nigeria $18.9 billion each year.
In the light of concerns that we have in this country on insecurity, we took the opinion that it was very helpful that this bill be considered and passed into law.
The new service will provide specialized protection for mining sites, enforce environmental and safety regulations, investigate accidents, and promote sustainable mining practices. Meanwhile, the Senate commended the Economic and Financial Crime Commission for securing over 4,100 convictions and recovering 364 billion naira and other assets in 2024, the highest in the Commission's history. Lawmakers also applauded President Bola Tinubu for appointing a chairman under whose leadership the agency achieved such results.
Record of 4,111 convictions in the year 2024. Marking the highest number secured in any operational year to date.
It has led to recoveries, and it has also led to convictions. So we want to commend President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for this.
In another motion, the Abubakar Tafawa Balewa University
Governor Obasani of Kaduna State reaffirmed his administration's commitments to healthcare reform and the pursuit of medical excellence. He made this known while receiving the leadership of the Nigerian Medical Association during a courtesy visit. The report.
It was a warm reception at Sir Kashim Ibrahim House as Governor Obasani welcomed the leadership of the Nigerian Medical Association, Kaduna State Branch. The association commended the governor for his transformative reforms in the health sector, including the prompt implementation of the 2024 and CONHES salary structures, and for allocating over 15% of the state's annual budget to healthcare. They also lauded the passage of the groundbreaking mental health bill the first of its kind in northern Nigeria, the establishment of the Kaduna State Emergency Medical Services and ambulance system, and the completion of the Bola Ahmed Tinubu 300-bed specialist hospital.
The first person had to approve and to pay the medical residency.
It's been 10 years since the launch of the Drasa Health. Late Dr. Ameyo Stella Adadevo, whose heroic actions were pivotal in protecting Nigeria during the 2014 Ebola outbreak. The organization has announced plans to establish a Drasa Academy aimed at training thousands of health workers and expanding its disease prevention network across the country. At a special event in Abuja, Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Bajamila, emphasized the importance of prioritizing prevention and preparedness in public health. He noted that collective responsibility is essential to building a healthier and more resilient nation over the outbreaks, including Ebola and COVID-19.
Investing in preparedness. So most times you see us waiting for when it strikes before we start getting up to prepare.
And now moving on to business news. Nigeria plans to formally request an increase in its oil production quota at the upcoming OPEC meeting in November. The Minister of State for Petroleum Resources Oil, Senator Heniken Lokpobiri, disclosed that the current quota of approximately 1.5 million barrels per day no longer reflects the country's production capacity. Let's join BeeTv News Temitope Oluwafemi for more details and more from the business world.
Speaking during a review of Nigerians' upstream oil sector performance, Lokpobiri stated that the country is now targeting a quota of at least 2 million barrels per day. He cited improved production levels, enhanced infrastructure, a better regulatory environment, and renewed investment inflows as justification for the request. The minister also highlighted that recent investments by major oil companies such as Shell, Total Energies, and ExxonMobil has created new opportunities for capable Nigerian firms, further boosting the sector's capacity and readiness for increased output. CIPM partners with Imo State on civil service reforms. The Chartered Institute of Personnel Management, CIPM, has pledged to support Imo State's civil service reforms, focusing on professionalizing public services and enhancing workforce development. During a courtesy visit to the Deputy Governor of Owerri, CIPM commended the state's efforts in digital skills development and youth empowerment, particularly through the Skill Up Imo initiative, which has already trained thousands of youth. The institute expressed readiness to collaborate with the state government in modernizing its human resource system and strengthening public sector efficiency. The visit also marks the beginning of a formal partnership aimed at promoting governance, excellence, and institutional capacity. ITEL Nigeria marked World Food Day 2025 with a community empowerment initiative in Capite and bonus communities of Rivers State. The campaign team, Nourish to Flourish, focused on improving nutrition and education for children. In partnership with the Lagos Food Bank Initiative, the outreach provided freshly prepared meals and educational materials, including school bags and stationery, to pupils in local schools. The initiative supported the UN Sustainable Development Goals on zero hunger, good health, and quality education. ITEL reaffirmed its commitment to using CSR to deliver real impact across underserved communities. Abumet Nigeria Limited has concluded its first graffiti art competition in Abuja as part of its youth-focused CSR program. The contest challenged university students to create artwork reflecting the company's identity using aluminium and facade elements. Over 2 days, participants transformed shipping containers into creative art pieces judged on originality and relevance. 3 winners emerged: Jonas, 1 million naira, Zafanaya, 500,000 naira, and Boluwatife, 300,000 naira. All other participants received consolation prizes. Abumet described the competition as a long-term initiative to empower creative talent and support youth development in Nigeria's art and design sector. Temitope Oluwafemi reporting for BeeTv News.
Australia's Prime Minister Anthony Albanese has come to the defense of his ambassador to the United States, Kevin Rudd, after former U.S. President Donald Trump made a dismissive remark about the diplomat during a White House meeting. More reports on Global Scenes.
US President Donald Trump has put plans for a meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin on hold, saying he did not want to waste that meeting. While Russia refused to stop fighting along the current front line in Ukraine, although Trump previously hinted at talks in Budapest within weeks, the White House now says there are no plans for such a summit. Trump's support for a ceasefire proposal, backed by Kyiv and European leaders, facing the conflict at existing positions, has highlighted a major divide with Moscow. Russia insists Ukraine must withdraw from eastern region and accept Russian control of the Donbass, demand Ukraine and Europe have rejected and as unrealistic and unacceptable.
The visually stunning music video has sparked praise for its artistic concept and vocal chemistry. Fans online called Aria goddess-like and applauded the duo's performance, though some noted the absence of a standout dance break. Regardless, the track's explosive success further cements Marvin's record influence in global Afropop. In another development, a viral video of a man spraying Victorian singer Nice with 5 naira notes at a public event has stirred controversy. While some dismiss it as harmless fun, others called it disrespectful to the artist. Defenders argue it's a case of spray what you can afford, while critics view it as Kid Kapishi has an January 16, just 24 hours before the official release. Cities on the tour include Kingston, Brighton, Bristol, Leeds and Liverpool. Speaking on the album, frontman Jack Wilson described it as reflecting a period of personal darkness and change, noting how quickly life can shift from fear to hope. Evelyn Isabella reporting for BeeTv News.